everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome to our Wednesday morning read. Now, if today's Wednesday, what day is it going to be tomorrow? Thursday, very good. And if today is Wednesday, what day was it yesterday? Tuesday, very, very good. Now, can you remember the names of the days of the week? How many are there again? 7. So let's quickly do our song. You ready? 1, 2, 3. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Very good. Now, it looks like Liza might want to join us. So if she joins us, I'll let you know. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's a little sad. I lost my months of the year cards, guys. I know. I'm very sad. But I hope you still have yours. So if you have yours, go and get them quickly. Hopefully they're with you, but go quickly get them. But what I did is I wrote all the months of the year on a board. So we're going to just use the board today because Teacher Bernadett lost her months of the year cards. Oops. Okay. So can you remember what month we're in? May, the month of May. And the month of May is the 5th month of the year. So let's count to see where we can find May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is May. May is the 5th month of the year. So let's quickly do, I'm just going to come forward and hope that Liza doesn't run out of her cage. So we're quickly going to go through our months of the year. So we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so now that we've done our months of the year, our days of the week, can you remember what letter of the alphabet we're learning about this week? The letter O. And the letter O makes what sound again? Ah, you're right, it makes ah. So, we've done the letter S, the letter T, and the letter R for beginning sounds. But let's see what other alphabet letters we can think of. Let's go with K, K for cat. So that's the letter C that makes the sound K. So we have card, cat, cavity, which we definitely don't want in our teeth, caring, and cradle, when we cradle a baby. So those are some more beginning sounds for us. But now, like we did last week, let's do rhyming sounds at the end of a word. So let's choose one word and let's go with mouse. Mouse. What words do you know that end in ouse? Douse is a word when you cover something in liquid or with water. Mouse we have, douse we have now. House, we all live in a house of some sort. Let's think of another word. Cat, because we got the letter K. So let's think. Cat, hat, sat, bat, mat, fat, rat. So many. So what I want you to do is find 2 more beginning sounds for today to practice your beginning sounds, but also 2 more rhyming sounds for the end of your word to see if you can remember all the things we did last week. Okay, now back to our theme for the week, around the garden. I hope that if you don't have a garden, or even if you do have a garden, you've been going outside and looking at gardens, looking at the trees and the flowers and the bushes and to see what insects you can find. I hope you've been seeing a lot of interesting things, because today what we're going to look at is patterns. Now, patterns we've done before. We can do patterns with shapes, we can do patterns with colours. We've practiced our patterns with different activities we've done over the last few weeks. But let's see what patterns we can find in nature. So the first one I'm going to look at is the plant right behind me. I'll bring it forward. Okay, so can you see? What pattern is that? Can you see the stripy pattern? Can you see the pattern with the different colours? It goes from dark to light to dark to light. Let's see, I have a colouring book. I don't think I've coloured most of these, but we'll find nice patterns to look at. So can you see those patterns? They're like little jagged blocks. Let's see what else we can find. Some nice stripes for our patterns. We also have, that's not a real plant, some stripes and blocks. This one is a plant that goes from root to leaf. So you get different types of patterns in your plants. You also get flowers with different colours. So see if you can find flowers with different colours and see what patterns they have. Another thing that we can see patterns on is rocks. Let me find the rocks quickly. Okay, so these rocks, you don't always find them in, oops, wrong way, in gardens, but sometimes you do. So here's a stripy rock. Here's a cracky rock. So you also get different colors of rocks. Some patterns are hard to see, like this one. It looks like it's one green stone, but if you look carefully, you can see some differences in color. So that's one thing we can see. Another thing is our insects. Most insects have patterns. Look at that beautiful butterfly. We saw this yesterday. That beetle has a spotty pattern. The snail has a stripy pattern. Then the spider has a scary pattern of stripes. Okay, so our insects, our plants, the sky even has patterns. If we look at clouds, you can sometimes see patterns in light if you look carefully outside, where the sun hits raindrops or the window funny or anything like that. So I hope that you go out today or any day and use your looking eyes, open your eyes and see what patterns can I see everywhere I go. Sometimes you can see amazing patterns that you didn't think would be there. I mean, they're even patterns on my jacket because it's got the flowers on it. So that's pretty cool. The animals in your gardens have patterns. Liza went back to bed, otherwise I could have shown you. She even has stripes on herself. So see what patterns you can find and let me know. Some patterns are colour, some patterns are shapes, some patterns can be shiny. So you know, there's so many patterns you can see and you can find if you just use your looking eyes. So let me know what patterns you can find in your garden or even on your morning walks if you don't have a garden. And I'll see you soon for our activity. Bye everyone. Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome to Wednesday's activity. Now for today's activity, we are doing 3 different activities. Now you don't have to do all 3 at the same time. You don't have to do it in one sitting. You can take a break after every piece of work that we do. And you can even leave it for another day. You can do it tomorrow or you can do it over the weekend. It's going to be up to you. But I do want you to do all of these so that you practice your writing skills, your painting skills, your cutting skills, and, you know, your knowledge. So what we're doing today, well, the first thing we're doing today is deciding which insect belongs in which house. So the worksheet you have is going to look something like this. It's the same worksheet, so you only have to do one, but if you want to do both, you can. So what we're looking at here is different insects and the different houses they can be. And here we have the different insects, but with their names next to it. And the same with the different homes they could live in. We have the names of the homes. So if you want to practice your reading skills as well, this is perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a pencil or a crayon or whatever you want. I'm going to use a blue pencil. And you're going to choose where you think the spider lives. So do you think the spider lives in the ground? In a hive? In some trees or a leaf or an anthill or some flowers or some rocks or a spider web? So you're going to choose which one you think it is. And you're going to draw a line from one dot to the other. And you can do different colors for the next one. So let's do a red. Where do I think the bee lives? I think the bee lives in a beehive. So then you make your second line. So you're going to keep doing that until you filled your whole worksheet. Now on to the next worksheet. If I can loosen the page. It's stuck. Okay. So we are going to do some counting. So we're going to practice our counting and we are going to practice writing our numbers. So making sure that we know how many we are counting and what the end number is. So this is going to be your worksheet. There is a circle next to every line of insects. So we're going to choose one line of insects at a time. Each line is a different insect. You can even try and write the name of the insect under the line of the insects to practice your writing skills if you want and if you think you can. So we're going to start with, let's start down here. Let's start with the beetles. So let's count the beetles all together. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how many beetles are there in a row? 4 beetles in a row. So then you take your pencil or your crayon and you can use your finger to make sure that you write it in the right circle. And then you write your number 4. So we're practicing making sure that we know how to write all our numbers. And that is what you are going to do. If you want, you can color a background for each row of insects, because coloring them in can be a little bit difficult because they are quite dark. But you can color around it if you want to practice your coloring skills as well. So now, the third and final activity for today. We're going to practice our painting skills and our cutting skills. So you're going to need your scissors, paintbrush with some water, and any paint you have. I just have this one for today. And we are going to paint some flowers. You can paint any flowers you have from the pack that was given to you. But these are the ones I'm using. I'm also using this stem, this flower stem, and this flower pot with the flower stem and leaves. So let's get started. Now, if you got tired during this video, or this activity at least, you are allowed to stop and continue this tomorrow or Friday or Saturday or whenever you want to. But I do want you to finish this activity because it's very important for us to practice our cutting skills, making sure that we hold the scissors nice and correct with your thumb at the top and your 2 other fingers at the bottom, and so that we can get into little hooks and nooks like we did here, so you can get in there. If you can't, it's fine, you can do that. So if you look, I didn't go on the dotted line, but what you also need to do is cut on the dotted line, so that if you accidentally go closer to the actual picture, it's fine and you don't cut your picture. But this was a fun activity to practice our painting skills and our cutting skills, and to make sure that we can move our hands, our wrists, and our fingers the way that we need to. So I hope you had fun, and I'll see you again next time. Bye everyone. Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome to our art activity. So for today's art activity, what we are going to be doing is we're going to make our very own flower gardens. Now for this flower garden, I want you to be as creative as you can be. I'm only going to show you a few ways to make flowers, but I want you to also think about some ways that you can make the flowers that I didn't think of. Some things that you might have in your house that I don't have. Some things you think could make a cool flower. So I'm going to show you a few things that I'm going to use. The first thing, oops, I dropped it. The first thing I can use, or you can use, or we can use is a toilet roll, and we're going to cut the pieces off. Another thing we can use is tissue. Yes, I said it. A tissue. You can also use strips of scrap paper that you paint and color in the way you want. You can cut out shapes using different colored papers. Something I don't have that could be cool is a cupcake paper holder that you can squish down and paint and decorate. You can even use paper plates if you want to make big flowers. You can use stones from the garden, buttons if you have buttons lying around. So this is going to be your flower garden. Up to you, your creativity, and your imaginatory thinking. I'd love to see what flowers and flower gardens you create, so let me know and send some pictures. So let's get started. There you go. I've made a flower garden. I didn't do a background, but you can do a background. So you can see I only used the paper strips and the tissue paper in the end. I even made some grass with tissue paper and paint. And then I used food coloring for the flowers. If you are going to use food coloring, ask mommy or daddy to help you because it can get a little bit messy. But it's quite cool to see. Let me show you. To see just how the color spreads. So we'll do one blue on the red flower just so that you can see nicely how it spreads. So go there. And then and even. So it's almost like magic. That it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So there you go. I add another one there. And that is your flower garden. Please send me pictures of your flower gardens with your face next to it. I'd love to see it. And I'd love to see how creative you got making your flower gardens. Bye everyone. This is our poem for the week. It is called Insect. by the end of the week, we'll know our poem. So let's go. Insects. Is that bug an insect? Can it be? Count the body parts. Are there 3? Count the legs. Are there 6 that you see on its head? Are there 2 antennae? If you answer yes, no.